So I belong to the Generation X. I was born in 1966, and it was the time where, the city here in Davao started to have problems in insurgency. So my parents were very strict, especially my mom, who was a public school teacher and a guidance counselor. And of course, my father also was a businessman and a barangay captain here in our place. So as a protective parents, they don't want their children to be at harm's way. But nonetheless, when I was in college, I was part of those who were in the streets, and so I understand that parents become very protective because of that situation during that time. But all in all, I was an obedient son. I don't have any criminal records so far as I know. And so, yeah, generally, I was a very good son.
How old were you when you already had the inclination in the arts, and what were you doing then?
I can vividly remember when I was in grade 1, I was 6 years old then. My notebooks are filled with doodlings, with drawings. And so, the gift of the arts was I discovered it very early. And my drawings then were not, stickman. It was really real thing. I have fun of drawing my teachers, my classmates, everything. I saw dogs, cats, anything that I see. In fact, in our home, this place, this is our ancestral home. On the second floor, all the walls there are filled with drawings, and my mom was so upset and, very mad because they have to erase it every now and then. So the gift of the arts is very early in my stage.
Who among your family members or relatives has talent in the arts?
I believe I got my gift in the arts from my mother's side, because my uncle, my mom's brothers, and even my lolo are into painting. They hail from Bohol, and it's a very outskirt a town in Bohol, in Pilar, where the church there are like mural paintings done by my uncle. And also in my siblings, we are 4. I'm the eldest, I'm the only son. Our youngest, Sally, I saw her I think it was in high school, that she also draw and paint, but if you don't use it, you lose it. So because she's a nurse, so didn't have to practice. But my sister next to me, Lani, right now, she's also a nurse. They're all in the States. She's into art making, these printings, mugs. It's still in a form of arts. So it's in the blood, in the mother's side.
How did your parents respond to your talent?
When I was young, of course, every parent supports their children in whatever skills or gifts they have. But when I finished high school, going to college, I really wanted to pursue fine arts. But unfortunately, there's no School of the Arts here in Davao in 1982. So I opted to pursue architecture. But my father said, there's no money in architecture. And he prodded me to pursue commerce. And as an obedient son, I say yes to him. And I finished commerce. I majored in accounting. But in 1983, where business is really going down here in the city, that my parents cannot afford me to bring to school because my sisters are taking up nursing. It's very expensive. So I used my skills in the art, being a working student in UM as the artist illustrator of the audiovisual center. I finished college because of that skills, of that gift of the arts.
What were the things you do to develop your talents during elementary, high school, and college years?
As far as I can remember, I've been practicing drawing almost every day. And so I believe the only way to develop your anything, not only in the arts, but in anything that you do, it's all about practice. Practice, practice. So I can remember drawing, painting. In fact, it was difficult then because you have no references of books. Not like now that everything is, you just Google it. There's in YouTube. So it's easier in this time. But during our time, in fact, the materials, the watercolor, the oil paints are so difficult to find. And but still, the only way for me to develop it is practice.
Who is your idol in your field and why?
Locally, I look up to many artists here, but one that I can mention is my art mentor, Victorio, who is one of the most prominent and senior artists here in Davao, having practiced arts for more than 40 years. And I look up to him. We regularly see each other as my mentor. And internationally, a lot of artists, like of course, if you talk about the what do you call this? Medieval. The Renaissance period, of course, there's Leonardo da Vinci, there's Michelangelo, and those old masters. But in the contemporary times right now, there's, well, I look up to Michel Basquiat, to what else? So who's this? Jackson Pollock. Because my artworks are abstract now. When I started, I'm into realism, but as I pursue my art, I evolved into an abstract artist. So these are the people that I look to.
Among the masterpieces of your idol, what is your favorite and why?
Locally, for Vic Sikuya, his series of Jerusalem, it was exhibited in the 2017, I think. It marked in my memory, the shapes, the colors. I loved it. And for the international artists like Basquiat, his abstract expressionism, the text, the drawing, the painting of like a child. It's really pure. It's not based on the academic teachings, but of course I respect the academe. Though I did not finish fine arts, that's why I'm a self-taught artist. But I really love looking at paintings that's really from the heart, the expression of the soul.
Is it true that an artist is moody, emotional, impatient, and daydreamer?
It's an individual call. It's a really a individual character. For me, I'm not moody. I don't paint only when I feel like painting. As a professional artist, you do it because it's your profession, it's your job. I consider this as a job that I work like going to the office 9 to 5. In fact, I start my work at 7 and up at 5 in the afternoon straight. I only stop when I eat or take a break. So as a full-time professional artist, you don't base it on the mood. What will be your production if you base it on the mood? If you just have the mood in painting once a month and you only have one painting in a month. So it's really a way of life.
What is your comment to those artists who use his or her talent to show disapproval to the government? Are you one of them?
Now, they are called social realists or social critics, artists, and I fully give my full salute to them. I respect them because it takes courage to express your, political opinion on your canvas. But personally, I am not a social realist or a social critic in the arts. And I have no problem with it. In fact, I encourage my art students, because I do workshops, to be critical in their thinking and not only, think of what the world is feeding you, but what you see in the world, especially if it's not in accordance to your philosophy or especially, your ethics. And as an artist, express it on your canvas.
Is having a public exhibit very important to an artist? Why or why not?
Yes, for me it's important because making an artwork in my style, I put messages, I put narratives on my artwork, and if I don't show it to the world, how will the world know my narrative or my stories or my message? So it's very important. You just don't paint and put it in the corner, hide it. You paint it to show to the world your thoughts. So exhibition is very important. And on top of that, of course, artists do need money. So how can you sell your artwork if you don't show it? Because we're also human who needs to eat.
Do you help aspiring young artists to develop their talents? If yes, in what way? If not, why?
I only went full-time as a full-time in the arts 10 years ago. But before that, I was a banker. I was a public official. I was a barangay kagawad here in our barangay for 13 years. I was in the media. I was in different businesses. And so when I started in the arts, I find it so very difficult knowing nobody in the arts. And I find it also hard for a starting artist to join exhibits, to show their works. And so I decided to put up a gallery, not only for my artworks, but for artists, especially the young artists, to showcase their artworks in an art space. So that's why we put up and registered the Bintana Art Gallery, and that's our way of helping the artists. And in 2018, we were awarded by LGU for for this annual Pasidungog Garbo sa Davao in our contribution to promote arts in Davao City.
Give the importance of DAFI or Davao Artists Federation Incorporated, and how does it help local artists?
Bintana Art Gallery is one of the charter members of Davaoenyo Artists Federation Incorporated or DAFI. It was formed in early 2020, wherein we are 15 art groups band together to form this federation. And our vision and mission is to help every art groups grow through exhibits, through workshops, through art talks. And the DAFI so far is very helpful because it's difficult for an individual art groups to put up a big show. But if you band together and put all your resources together, you can make bigger shows.
Doctors treat patients and engineers build structures. What is the role of an artist in the society?
The role of the artist in the society is to give soul to the culture of a certain community. So it's very important because imagine a world without art. According to Banksy, who is a very popular graffiti artist, Earth, the word Earth is spelled Earth, E-A-R-T-H. You get away the word art, what is left is So Earth without art is just nothing.
What is the role of arts in the nation building?
We have what we call creative economy. The reason why people love to go to these European countries like France, Germany, Sweden, and all these places, it's not for their manufacturing capability, but people go there because of their tourism. And the center of tourism on those places are these art spaces, museums, and galleries. People go there because of arts. So when the tourism is booming, it contributes to a lot of business. We go there, people go there for tourism, restaurants make money, transportation makes money, so it moves the economy. So they just don't realize that art makes a good economy through tourism.
What is your message to young artists who have talents in painting and sculpting in order to be successful in their field?
According to the great artist Pablo Picasso, every child is an artist until you look for money. So it's difficult to sustain doing art without money. So you prefer to do, looking for money. I personally believe that the spirit of the arts is in each and every one of us. It's like a fish. You don't teach a fish how to swim, it's just swim. You don't teach a bird how to fly, it's just fly. So, if you have that itch of making an artwork, I believe you are destined to be an artist. Now, how are you going to sustain it? One way is practice. You need to practice your arts. Or else, if you don't use it, you will lose it.
Can you show 5 works of yours and explain what style and technique did you use?
So this is part of my Through the Jungle series. This was my 7th solo, or it was 8th solo exhibit. So far, I have 8 solo exhibits, and this is one of the paintings. About 30 paintings of this. This was exhibited in La Herencia, and the narrative of this painting is about the pandemic. That what we went through the pandemic, it's like going through the jungle, no? Na we do not know what's behind those vines. Also, the white lines are the vines that represents the problems or the predicaments that we went through. But after we went through those obstacles represented by these white lines, meron na namang mga obstacles behind the white lines. So walang katapusan, no, during the pandemic. So that is my narrative. But we know that beyond this jungle is a paradise, because this is a series wherein the what do you call this, the apex or the end of the story. I have this 3 big paintings. Size is 4 feet by 8 feet. Tsaka dalawang 4 feet by 4 feet. That is parang paradise ng paintings. Ayun, yung hindi na yung mga forest, but nandun na yung mga flowers. Nandun si Adan at saka si Eva. Si Balakas at si Maganda, that represents me and my wife. This painting is part of the series. Kasama yan siya sa Rebirth. And this is titled Homeland. That represents Mindanao. The colors, the shapes, the anvil, the mountains. So, without the artist explaining it, you cannot understand it. But it's a lot of symbolism there. The eagle, Mindanao as the food basket, and it's up to you how to interpret this. Would you like it to be a snake, to be a sperm cell, whatever you want to think of it. So, yun, part of this series. I made this in 2018. This is part of that Jerusalem painting or series of Bixikuya. Something like this, ang background. Very colorful. But I put a figurative image of a magtatahok. Because every morning dito, may magdaan, taho, taho. And I put the sun, emphasizing how difficult the life of a vendor, magtatahok vendor, in it. And the weight of the cans. So yun, I'm inspired to whatever I see, especially sa may mga figurative ako. But now, wala na kasi akong figures, it's more on symbolisms. This particular painting is part of my latest series. The title of this artwork is The Rebirth of the Eagle. So, it's not a figurative painting, it's abstract, but it's obvious the form of the eagle. So, rebirth, parang ano yan siya, yung sa the phoenix, no? And I painted this during sa mahal na araw. Yung bang, di ba, Holy Week. We were in Buddha that year. Tapos, yun, sabay tawagan na sa bakasyon namin ba, nag-vacation kami noon. So, mapansin mo, bundok. Because where we were staying in that certain hotel, kita yung mga bundok. I don't know kung mag-apo ba yun, basta may bundok. And, yan, that is my inspiration. Another abstract painting, Cubism. I made this year 2020 during the pandemic. It's also a series of like this style. In fact, there's one in Victoria Plaza whose size is 4 feet by 8 feet. So I don't stick to one style. I keep evolving myself. I'm not the kind of artist that, from beginning to end, hanggang namatay siya, ganun na lang ang style niya. I do respect that. Doesn't mean that it's wrong. It's just my style. I don't stick to one painting. So if you notice, I have different, styles of painting. But it's in a series form, meaning if I make like this, at least I make 10, not less than 10, to make it as a series. Like this is about 30. Ito, nagawa ko niyan, I think I have made 10. Pero I kinda like it, so I will make more of this. So this is part of the Kadayawan series. This kind of style, abstract cubism. I also love this kind of work. I have sold about 4 or 5 paintings of this. So if I make series, it's not all sold out. No, so may maiwan. That's why you really need to have money to make more artworks.